What's the most crucial thing that needs to be given to African children in the early stages of development?
I think self-love.
Mm.
Because I think self-love is the deficit that we have, especially as Africans. And if you can't get beyond self-love, really you start harming. You harm yourself, you harm others. And if you look at today's world, and it's always like we always say, oh, the Barbies are all blonde, blue-eyed, blah blah blah. And this is even from from a woman perspective. There's a lot of shaming that goes around. So it's very difficult for kids to consistently love themselves, or even understand that it's important to love themselves. And self-love also comes from self-knowledge, self-understanding, a deep understanding of how powerful you are as a human being. Like you reincarnated in this reality, and you're a human being. So for me, I think self-love would be very important.
How would you nurture that? With the
That's
current system that we
yeah.
have, how would you embed that gradually?
I mean, it's more teaching kids the tools that they need. For example, I've taught my son about boundaries and how to set boundaries, how to recognize when someone is crossing his boundaries, and so on and so forth. Because that is a very high expression of self-love. Because people confuse self-love with selfishness. It's two very different things. Selfishness comes from a place of it's a harmful place. Self-love comes from a place of I don't want to do harm, but I also want to make sure that I'm safe.
Right.
So teaching kids how to do that, and then building that in and by the time they're getting to 7, 10, they're already aware of who they are in their full self.